let's go to the next presentation. Before that, I want to thank our sponsors, ZK Sync, Arcadia, and Orchid. And now the next presentation is going to be from Eugenia from Ukraine.
Hi everyone, let me use the microphone for the recording. So my name is Eugenia, I'm the founder of Hacken. Hacken is a cybersecurity consulting company. Today I want to share some researches we made recently on the hot wallet security and in the general hack landscape in the Web3. So a bit about me. I started my journey in crypto in 2014 in university in Ukraine, and I was working back then in the company who was developing Ripple and Stellar and some other projects that were back then. And I have a master's degree in cybersecurity, so I've been in this sphere for quite long. I was always curious to know more, that's why somehow I ended up here, because in university there was not enough knowledge, practical knowledge. So I started my community of ethical hackers in Kharkiv. It was like DevCon chapter back then. And then we created a cybersecurity conference in Ukraine and gathering speakers all over the world. And getting knowledge everywhere where it was possible. So a bit about hacking. We started our journey in 2017 in Kyiv, in Ukraine, and we did ICO back then to do a bug bounty platform. Anyone knows what is bug bounty? Okay, good. So yeah, we built the bug bounty platform. It's called Hackenproof. We have there more than 30 hackers, and projects like Near and Aurora are using our platform to communicate with ethical hackers and get vulnerabilities and fix them timely. We have a team a bit more than 100 people right now in 16 countries, and it's all like security engineers that go through the audits for like Rust, Solidity, Move, and other languages. We also do penetration testing for crypto wallets, crypto exchanges, L1 protocols, the apps. So we're sort of helping customers to find vulnerabilities ahead of time. So we recently made a research for Q3 in crypto, and it was like 117 hacks in Q3 this year. It's a bit more than $700 million lost. In statistics, I'm sure I have this chart here, but the numbers are just growing year over year. We are not getting better in terms of money, at least. And as for statistics, the top issues is still rug pulls. Then we are going to access controls, reentrances, Oracle issues, still phishing, flash loan attacks, honeypots, and so on. So I would say that it's like three general problems. It's technical part with the smart contracts and protocols. There is still human factor like phishing and honeypots, and there is a big chunk of scams and rug pulls. And interesting observation that we found that out of all these projects, there were like 78 projects without audits. Is the audit a silver bullet? I would say no, but it's still something that can prevent projects from being hacked. And there were interesting stuff that even from our experience auditing the projects. So what the projects do, they audit one code and deploy the other code, which doesn't make much sense. So as for rug pulls, I'm pretty sure we heard a lot of cases. It's still not clear what is going on with multi-chain, but it's been like one of the major problems in the last quarter, I would say. The project types with the most hacks is still like tokens, early launch bridges, and stable coins. And one of our projects called Sierra.Life, what we do, we rank crypto exchanges in terms of their security. We check the penetration testing reports, bug bounties, insurance, ISO and PCI DSS, which is a bit relevant to this industry. And So our first category that we started to work with was crypto exchanges. We did this research for over 200 exchanges from top CoinGecko. And now this security score is a part of trust score in CoinGecko. So if you are choosing the exchange you want to like deposit some money, go to CoinGecko trust score and check what is the trust score there. The parameters there are quite complex. It's about community, legal, and a lot of stuff. And part of this is cybersecurity. And it's really important. So even last quarter, there were some hacks which is connected to hot wallet problems because some keys were lost, and either insiders or cyber criminals got access to the wallets of exchange. So it's a good practice not to store your money in a crypto exchange and check the reliability of crypto exchange. Yeah, and we decided to look to the next step, and we analyzed 49 brands of different hot wallets. And it was, in general, it was 159 different applications, either it's like Android or iOS or Chrome extension or desktop application. And we were analyzing multiple parameters there. And the interesting stuff that we found was that a third of all wallet apps has a security score by our metrics is less over 60. So 2/3 has a less. And it's really important to actually, while you're using any wallet, I believe your wallet should be secure. Check what's going on with their security, because literally you trust your money to someone else. And only 14 of 45 brands actually provide any type of audit or whatsoever in public. So while you're using any like DeFi wallet, like DeFi product, CeFi whatsoever, check what's going on with their security. Usually products mention that they have security page on their website and saying, we do this, we do that, we do something else. So a good practice to have at least different audits, couple of audits, have an ongoing bug bounty. Better to have insurance, either insurance fund or insurance for the product. Next step, I would say monitoring. To have as a product developer to have to monitor your not only your infrastructure but also the smart contracts you have. And from our statistics, only 6 of 45 brands conducted the full penetration testing. It means they checked all their Chrome extensions, mobile extensions, or wallet applications whatsoever to cover this fully. From our experience analyzing all these wallets, extensions are more secure than mobile and desktop wallet apps. It could be connected with different factors. Usually, I would say we would have more specialists on web security rather than desktop security and mobile security. That's why some projects just neglect, I would say, mobile and desktop. And I believe there's still a lot of users there. So, also, which is interesting, we analyzed also the bug bounties that they have. So, for those who don't know, bug bounties is a kind of, let's say, engagement between researchers and companies who wants to test their security. So, literally what they do, after they've done anything internally and externally with some auditors, they ask community of ethical hackers, developers, researchers to check their product to get the bounty. And the statistics is not that much shiny, I would say, and we still have programs here as well. So that's a great question, actually, who is responsible for wallet security, because from one hand, it's your decision to trust your crypto to hot wallets. From the other side, I would believe that the program like wallet developers should do everything possible to minimize risks of users being hacked. So it means they should do everything possible internally and externally to decrease the cost of error of users. Because a lot of problems we see that we lost our private keys, it's stolen or something else. So this is like with your, actually it's not like with your bank, because you would go to bank and say, I lost my card, please issue a new one. And here is not the case, like your keys, your crypto. and it's responsibility of both sides. Interesting that what we also discovered that not all wallets show sufficient information for user to prove the transaction. So what they usually show is like receiving address, transaction fee, transaction amount, and the message that describe the data or content of the transaction. But only a third of them do that, which is really important. For example, I know that in MetaMask and Snaps they already implemented such feature as kind of risk score of the smart contract and the like how trustable it is. If it's like a scam, if it's like vulnerable or not. I believe it's on the testing stage right now, but still you as the user have some sense of understanding which contract you interact with and how reliable it is. I would say that if we are going to the main security features that should be in the wallet, it's about obligatory backup. How many of you actually created the wallet and saved your seed phrase somewhere, did a backup? Good. Then strong password or biometrics, like you mentioned, like Face ID, to sign a transaction. Of course, it's a way easier than typing a password, and it's also a kind of a problem between usability and security in this case. Then there's support mechanisms, cold wallet compatibility, and most important, but I believe a lot of people do that, the screenshots while doing the backup. How many of you did screenshots? And you're just, the honest one.
Yeah.
And if we're going back to the results of our research, so this is the most secure wallets for mobile from our, I'm not sure if you can see actually here.
Yeah.
It's like Zengo, Trust Wallet, Coinbase Wallet, MetaMask, and Coin98 for the mobile security. For desktop, it's Coin98, Exodus, Ledger. And for browser extensions, it's MetaMask in all the browsers, Ruby, Trust Wallet, and Coin98.
What about the hardware wallets?
No, we have less of the hot wallets. How many people heard about Atomic Wallet case? It's been, I believe, somewhere in Q2 or Q3 this year. It was around 100 million, but it's still not clear what's happened. They didn't provide explanation. It could be not just targeted at actually users they have, not the problem in Atomic Wallet itself. It's still not clear. They haven't published anything clear what's happened. But still, it's important to say that the data score was quite low by our methodology, and other wallets that you might know, it's also not going that great. So if you are talking about the major security threats while using hot wallets, definitely it's a private key theft due to unsafe storage, lost devices, lost papers, whatsoever. And also the invalid transactions that you might, just typo or something else while sending a money. It's a great question what to do for wallets as a developer. Of course, it's security during all the life cycle you're developing the solution. It's having internal reviews, it's having the security implemented into the CI/CD, having external reviews, having bug bounties, and taking security proactively, I would say, because sometimes it's too late to think about security, and unfortunately a lot of people think about that when it's hacked. So you can check the full rating here, and from our research on the 30% of all the wallets we analyzed considered to be safe, and a lot of them are not. So make sure while you're interacting with any centralized projects, at least, and decentralized as well, to check what's going on their security. That's all for me. I would recommend everyone to be proactive on security, and if you're waiting for some sign to change your password, to use multi-factor authentication, password managers, it's today, and make sure your crypto is safe. Thank you.
Very good presentation, thank you. I have a few questions, very interesting topic, and I saw you're familiar with NEAR, you're working, your NEAR is one of your clients. Do you do some sort of testing, or do you look into like underlying libraries that wallets use? For example, I'm talking specifically about the NEAR biometrics, one of the packages that they use for FastOff that we use as well for Coinbase Wallet. So first, do you do some sort of testing on that, or for your rating?
Specifically NEAR, you mean, no?
Yeah, specifically NEAR.
So for NEAR, we did audits of their like layer one solution, some specific use cases, and for in general, they have ongoing bug bounty on our platform, and they have scope. But I'm not sure, like this should be in the scope, but it's better to check on our website.
Okay, cool. And how, for example, like if we wanted to get a rating for Coinbase Wallet, would we need to get in contact with you, or how
So
does
you can just go to CR.live and submit like the contact form, and our team will review the audit, and that's the rating.
Thank you.
Or you can just contact me, and I will facilitate this process.
Thank you so much.
So, in your opinion, what's the best way to buy OpenSea?
I would say do your own research. I mean, there is a lot of approaches. You could do this on the paper, you could do this somewhere else in some like crypto. So it depends on what I would say, diversify and have, backup plan.
What wallet do you use?
I test a lot of different wallets.
And on the kind of hacking side of things, are you noticing that it's specific or is it random? So what I mean by that is, how much is Lazarus Group, how much is organised crime, the North Koreans, in terms of the hacking that's happening? Is it just lots and lots of different people, or is it concentrated in certain areas?
It depends on type of hacks and type of specializations, I would say, and type of scams, or just, sophisticated attacks on smart contracts. So there's no, but we all heard about the North Korean hackers, and their like significant achievements, I would say. But we have hackers everywhere.
Yeah, I have a question regarding bug bounties. Does it have an impact on the price that companies pay for auditing afterwards? That if you have a successful bug bounty period?
Sorry, can you repeat? I didn't get the question.
Companies who want to audit
Okay.
smart contracts,
Okay.
what's the impact on the price for auditing if they decided to do a bug bounty? Like, does it help if you have a successful bug bounty?
I would not say so, because the auditing scope and the price of server depends on the scope itself, and literally you engage some consultants, researchers to do the work in a specific period of time. And having bug bounties is just another way of protection, and therefore depends on that to minimize risks. So I would say it's two separate, but we'd recommend to have audit first and then go into bug bounty. Because in bug bounty you pay per each issue, and in audit you pay per engagement. So, like for fixing all the issues auditors found, reduce the amount of bounty you would pay or not. Depends on the auditors and approaches.
Yeah, so maybe just me and people I know, but I feel that approval scam way worse issue than actually the wallet being hacked. Like, I think people are losing their money because they feel that I approve one thing and the thing is going to do something like an error or something like that, but actually taking approval or transferring their money. So it's also what you saw see, like you think there is more risk in the user doing stupid stuff and the wallet not warning him, or do you think the wallet being hacked in the sense of they extract the private key or sign anything they want is more risky?
It's a great question what is more risky. I know that's the way of from two sides. It's also about user education and user awareness about security issues. And I believe that like products, like wallets, exchanges should do some educational campaigns for users to minimize the other person and no one reports this somewhere. But we have only, big issues reported, like if the product itself hacked, or someone famous or big amount of money hacked. So we don't have the statistics about retail users.
Regarding this question, I have another one. So let's say we introduce LLMs or AI to explain what's the transaction to users, because users are really looking to fail, right? They just prove or
Yeah.
if we introduce like AI to kind of explain what's going on under the hood, do you think are we introducing a new vector attack here, or do you think it's a good could be a good thing to do?
I believe education and generally explaining user what's going on here in the easily readable way for non-technical people is good. And I've seen some wallets doing this, just you're sending money from here to
Yeah.
here, here's the amount of money, here's to whom you're sending this. I believe we should make it, like you mentioned about user experience, I believe we should make it as much easier and as much with less possibility of error as possible from the wallet perspective. Because at the end of the day, I believe that users will come to you and say, oh, I was hacked, it's like your problem. But I mean, it's not your problem. Good. If you have any questions, I'm here. I'll be happy to. Thank you.